And welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. And today, my friends, we're going to be looking at some Doppelbocks, because it's pretty irritating, rainy weather today. Oh my god, this summer has been horrible. So these two beers are fitting. As you remember, a couple of reviews back, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, you got the review of two Dunkelweizen in a horizontal. Well, today I'm going to do the same with two Doppelbocks from the two same breweries. I mentioned that in the review too. The beers are Scheyern Kloster Doppelbock Dunkel and Andechs Doppelbock Dunkel. And this one is apparently one of the best Doppelbocks in the world. Or at least that's what I've been told. And I've had this before, but it's like over a year ago. Haven't had this, but I've had that one, and I don't really remember how it was. But both are Doppelbocks, and yeah, we're going to start off with the Kloster Scheyern. Yeah, here on the back it says the Kloster Scheyern Doppelbock is on 7.4% alcohol, so it's a big beer. Here it is, the Kloster Scheyern Doppelbock Dunkel. It's a pretty nice, dark, almost reddish color. Like it looks kind of like a ruby red almost when I hold it up to the light, along with some brown notes. The head is 2 fingers. You can hear it fizzing away. It's kind of a beige color. I mean, Doppelbocks are a style of lager, and I really like them, especially in like autumn time and when it's weather is rainy like now outside. But let's check out the aroma on this Scheyern Kloster Doppelbock. Ton and ton and ton of caramel malts. Holy shit. Oh wow, I can just hear it. The head sounds like Rice Krispies, but some sweet, dark fruitiness, some buttery notes too. There is a touch of sharp alcohol in this one though, I don't like too much. Caramel, kind of like maybe a rum-ish note in there. Lots of the darker malts, the lightly toasted notes in there, some nutty notes too. It actually smells pretty darn nice, except for that little alcohol note. But let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Pretty tasty. The alcohol is nowhere to be found in the taste, though. Or was more in the aroma. There is maybe a touch of alcohol in the back end. The body is medium, lightly dry mouthfeel. A pretty traditional Doppelbock mouthfeel, but sometimes they can be a little bit oily too, like in the mouth, like motor oil almost. Some at least like a ice Doppelbock, like Summercloud for example. Good amount of breadiness in there too. Tons of caramel, lightly toasted notes, kind of like a roasted chestnutty flavor, or just chestnuts. Yeah, it's actually quite nutty. And the caramel isn't too overwhelming. The buttery notes I spoke of was more in the beginning of the taste. This is a pretty spot on Doppelbock actually. There isn't anything wrong with it, except maybe a little more mouthfeel and a little less alcohol on the nose. But tasty as hell. If you like Doppelbocks and more malty beers, I'm sure you would enjoy this a lot because it's pretty tasty. There is actually in the first initial sip just a very faint trace of an almost hoppy note, an almost grassy note, but it's so faint. The sweetness in there is not overpowering. There is some maybe slightly dark sugary notes in there, like too, but it's pretty tasty. Rating wise, I'm gonna give it an 80. It's actually a pretty darn tasty Doppelbock. Definitely worth checking out. It's certainly better than their Dunkelbock. It was solid, but this is better. Or Dunkelbock, sorry, Dunkelweizen. Yeah, so an 80 for the Kloster Scheyern Kloster Doppelbock Dunkel. And I'll be back later, guys, with the Andechs Doppelbock Dunkel. So guys, I'm back with the Kloster Andechs Doppelbock Dunkel. As you see, I already poured it, but that's because my camera fucked up. Apparently I wasn't recording because the lens retracted itself all of a sudden. So let's do it over. I got it poured already. This was the one I've been told that is one of the best Doppelbocks out there. As far as I know, one of the other great ones is Andechser Doppelbock, I think it's called. I've never had that. I don't get it up here in Denmark, which is quite strange because I'm so close to Germany. And I do not even get this one either. This was bought down in the Danish-German bottle shops. But it's on 7.1% alcohol, this Doppelbock. The head that was here on the beer was like kind of the same color, that beige or whitish color. Color on the beer itself, it's like a ruby red, brownish. Let's check out the aroma. Yeah, this has got a lot more dark fruits, and it doesn't really have that toasted malt quality to it. A lot of dark fruits, actually, buttery notes. It's got the nuttiness too. I smell like a lot of raisins on this one. There's a lot of raisins. No alcohol, tons and tons of sweetness, a lot of brown sugar and like intense sweet sugary notes. Yeah, but that caramel and toffee notes really shine through. This smells like a really nice Doppelbock, so let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers. Oh yeah. That is a pretty good Doppelbock. I remembered it as being pretty solid, but this is actually really good. It's definitely better than the Scheyern. The mouthfeel on it is kind of that medium body. It's slightly dry. It's kind of the traditional Doppelbock mouthfeel. Flavors in there. It's got a lot. It's so malty. This is like a malt bomb. If you don't like malty beers, you won't like this one. A lot of raisins, a lot of caramel malts, toffee. Well, there's a lightly toasted note in the flavor actually, along with the nutty flavor, tons of brown sugar, almost like a syrupy sweet quality. It's actually fairly sweet. I mean, this is a real fall type of beer. We have pretty shitty weather today, so good weather for drinking a beer like this. Yeah, alcohol is not even present at all. Usually some of the German bocks, you do taste that alcoholic kind of phenol flavor, but it isn't in here at all. Pretty darn tasty. If you're a fan of Doppelbocks, I definitely suggest you check this one out, the Andechser Doppelbock Dunkel. It's really nice. I imagine food pairing wise, both of these beers would be really good with like the darker meats, like maybe game, like a duck breast or veal, or just a steak, plain old steak. I think that would be pretty nice too, actually. It has to be the darker meats at least, food pairing wise, but it's pretty darn tasty. I mean, I really like it. It's got so much of that dark fruity flavor, along with some of that caramel maltiness, and it's nice. Doesn't have that almost rum-like character though. But yeah, and the brown sugar is pretty nice in there too. This is a pretty awesome Doppelbock. Rating wise, I'm gonna have to give this a 90. This is really good actually. I'm quite impressed by it. I wasn't really expecting that because I didn't remember it as being this good, but that's probably also because it's been so long since I've had a Doppelbock last. So that might be why. But yeah, definitely if you have the opportunity to choose any one of these, choose the Andechs. It's much better if you're only picking up one. I suggest actually picking up two. One of each, because both are pretty darn tasty. So yeah guys, a 90 for the Andechser Doppelbock Dunkel. I gave the Scheyern Kloster Doppelbock Dunkel an 80. And yeah guys, let me know what you think about these two beers if you've had them. Maybe you think they're pretty shitty because you're not into malty beers, or maybe you think they're better than I do. Let me know guys. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out my Facebook fan page and Twitter. Yeah, and there's only one thing to say, and that's cheers, guys, or Prost, as they say in Germany, and we're going to see you in another beer review.